Hey guys, me again. Sorry about breaking up the video into two parts. In the last part, we looked at frequency table, did a couple, and did a histogram. Try out this runtime one next, and then see how that goes. Notice that you've got decimals that you have to deal with. So my mindset here, let me start you off with the intervals, and then I'll let you go for the rest. It looks like they're in order first off, so that's nice. So the smallest is 26, and the biggest is 45. That's a big range here, so maybe we should count by fives. Would be nice. Let's set up our frequency table first, and then I'll let you finish the histogram. So starting at 20, let's start at 25. That'll be a nice round number. 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29 would all be in one set. 30 to 34 would be in the next set. 35. Notice these are counting by fives. You can fill out the rest if it's easier to count like that. And then these are all going to be five more, or four more, I should say, counting this one. So this one would be 39, 44, 49. So that would be my interval set. And label our tops. From there, I'll let you finish this one out and see how it goes. Let's move on to the next one, though, so you can do this one as your own practice. Let's look at the back of this sheet. So the last thing I want to talk about with histograms is their distributions. So these are three different examples of distributions. Notice this one, most of them are about the same height. They're not exactly the same height, but in general, they're the same height. We call that uniform. So uniforms are all the same. If you had to wear school uniforms, everybody's the same. And notice this one, it's pretty close to being everybody the same. Our next one, notice if you could find a symmetric line where everything looks like it's about symmetric on left and right. It doesn't have to necessarily be in the middle of the table, but if somewhere you can think about drawing a line, then we would call this a symmetric graph. And then lastly, notice this one is most of the data heading on one side. So most of the data is on the right side, kind of ignoring this bar, but I'm saying most. In that case, then this would be skewed. And if most of the data on this side is on the right, then this one will be skewed right. And you can imagine a skewed left one would have had most of the data on the left. All right, let's move on to our last type, cumulative frequency tables. So with these ones, we're going to do a frequency table and then add another column for something else. Let's look at this trail length in miles one. So we've got from 1 is the smallest to 12, and I'm thinking let's count by twos. So we're going to go from 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. All right, so there's our table. I'm going to make a long line for this one because we're going to add a column. So for these guys, we again have the trail length in miles, and then we'll do frequency, and then at the end we'll add our cumulative frequency. So let's see, from 1 to 2, okay, so 415. 415, 213, 712, 6, 611, 9, 213, 412, 53. Okay, so we've got our frequency in, and then cumulative frequency is just what's the frequency at each stage. So at this first spot, we had 5, 6, 7, and then on the next stage, we got 5 more. 7 plus 5 is 12. And the next stage, we got 4 more. 12 plus 4 is 16. And the next stage, we got 1 more, and 1 more, and 2 more. So our cumulative frequency is there. Nothing too crazy, I hope. If you'd like to try out this problem on your own, you can. Let's wrap up by looking at this last problem. Number of chocolates per bag of trail mix. We've got a histogram here given to us. And they're asking us some questions about it on the right. So it says, most bags had between blank and blank pieces of chocolate. So looking at chocolate pieces on the bottom and bags on the top, the most bags had 60 to 79 pieces of chocolate. How many bags had between 60 and 79 chocolate pieces? So 60 and 79, again, that would be 8 if we trace it over. How many bags of trail mix are represented in the histogram? This question usually trips some people up. Notice this bar is 3 high, 7 high, 5, 8, and 1. So that's the total number of bags if we add them all up. We've got 10, 15, 16 plus 8 is 22 bags. I'm sorry, how about 24? Nice try. If a bag had 59 pieces in it, which bar would it be added to? So 59 is in this spot, so it would be added to the 40 to 59 bar. All right, last couple, we want to describe the distribution of these. So this one I actually gave you a dot plot, which is very similar to a histogram. It's snowfall in inches, and I'm thinking this one is skewed, so skewed left. And then this histogram with passes thrown, I can almost perfectly draw that symmetric line, so this one is symmetric. So I know we skipped a few questions along the way on these notes. I hope they look good for you and your practice goes well. I will see you guys later.